What is going on there, kings, queens, and everybody between? It's your boy MFC and Solo Fraudulence coming back at you for the 81st installment of your favorite podcast, the Clout.Wav experience. Because today we get to say we were right. You didn't listen to me. You didn't listen to him, and you damn sure didn't listen to old Mr. Krabs. Because we told you, we tried to warn you, we threw the flags up, and for some reason people said we were crazy, we didn't know what we was talking about, but now the proof is in the pudding. But before we get to the greatest I Told You show special of the 2022 campaign, Mr. Fraudulence, how have you been? You been doing good? Everything all nice in the neighborhood, bro?
Yeah, it's it's been all right. Hasn't been the best of weeks, but we get past it. All right, we get past it, and the weekend is almost here. Good things are on the way. Twitter has turned into a shit show, and that's nice to see, right? Everybody loves a shit show, right?
Well, everyone claims that they love shit shows. Everyone claims that when you finally get the shit show you've been waiting for, and you finally get what you've been anticipating, and you finally get to say, look at my giant TV and bask in its glory because I called it in 4K. We all love the I told you so moment that comes along with it. But for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Elon Musk and his new Twitter aficionado team have rolled out the algorithm beating version of Twitter Blue. What's that? Your content sucks. You don't feel like you want to be suppressed and or shadow banned, and you want the platform to actually, I don't know, push good content to the top? Oh, well, you gotta get Twitter Blue, which will be $9 a month of a stipend before you're allowed to enjoy Twitter the way it was supposed to be experienced. But it comes with yet another feature set of bells and whistles, one of which being you get a verification check mark. Yay! Woo! Everybody's verified. You're verified. You're verified. You're verified. She's verified. He's verified. They're verified. Everyone's verified. But if everyone's verified, wait a minute, I've seen this in a movie. If everyone's super, no one is. If everyone's verified, no one is. And that's what people are finding out, because now...
Right, sir. If everyone's having sex, then no one is.
All right, well, hold on. That's a little bit different. Now we're talking about a status, not an action. But, hey, look, well, actually, that plays into the incel topic we're going to talk about later.
It sure does, buddy.
Spoilers, but we are at a point now where you got people pretending to be Nintendo, other celebrities. You got people who are actually saying that they're Crunchyroll and their name is like Hunchy Stroll. And then you go there, they have the Crunchyroll logos, and it's just hentai and porn and some dude spreading his ass cheeks and putting peanut butter on his chest. Like, it's real weird on what they're doing. Because kids, they don't know any better. They're scrolling like, oh, wow, Nintendo of Europe, click, or Nintendo of us, which... funny enough, as an at name spells Nintendoofus, but I digress. And they're like, wow, Nintendo, what leaks? Oh, wow, Pokemon, I like Pokemon. Why is Ash blowing Pikachu's back out? Huh? Do we fuck the Pokemon now in the new game? Pokemon H game? Like, you got to understand, there are many pitfalls when you give everybody a verification check mark. Now, some people may say, but actually, Mr. Frosty, you actually can see if someone's faking it because you can click on it and it will either tell you that this person is a notable figure or if they only got the verification because they subscribed to Twitter Blue. And well, actually, gang, I'm sorry to tell you this, but did you know that there are people who were verified before but wanted the ability to edit tweets who bought Twitter Blue, but now when you click on their Twitter check mark, it only talks about Twitter Blue because that was the most recent verification check mark they got. Yes, your regular check mark can be overwritten by the you paid for it one.
Mm-hmm.
Great job. Fantastic. Love to see it. But I digress. Pushing past that even, you talk about people saying, but we're finally verified. There are plenty of people. Y'all some two-faced motherfuckers, all right? Y'all some real two-faced bitches, because I don't want to be super catty when I say this, but there have been plenty of you who've been talking about check marks don't matter, check mark sucks, check marks are terrible, check marks are just bad people, all types of shit, whether they did research or no research on however they felt about check marks. But as soon as they got an opportunity to get the inside track to get one, what'd they do? Oh, yes, I must have it. Kind of reminds you of that SpongeBob when there's no water here. They need it. And they spent the money. They didn't care about the edit button. They didn't care about the algorithmical benefits that you get. They didn't care about the fact that you get to post up to 10-minute videos as opposed to being limited to 240 seconds. They didn't care about any of that feature set. They only plunkered down the money so that they could get the check mark that they claimed didn't matter so much because they knew they had no way of obtaining it. But once they saw the one thing that they didn't have any way of obtaining, no method of obtaining, was a reality, they jumped for it hook, line, and sinker. And funnily enough, I had Twitter Blue. I did. Then I found out that they were adding this feature set. I was like, what's the fuck is the point?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to give money to a feature that makes it feel like if you don't pay for it, you're missing out. I only want to do it because I didn't want to have to be limited to 240 seconds. But like seeing this, I spoke with my wallet and I canceled my subscription. Now, granted, the funny thing about the subscription, if you ask me anyway, is the way that they handled it. Did you know you can only get the new Twitter Blue with the check mark and the new benefits if you have iOS?
Huh?
Oh, you didn't know? Yeah, if you had it on Android or if you paid for it by using the Twitter via web, whether it was a web application on your phone or using your computer itself or any other apparatus like a laptop, if you have Twitter Blue, you didn't get rolled into the new features. You didn't. It's only for iOS gang right now. All other operating systems, your subscriptions can either be put on hold, you can cancel them, or you can keep paying, but not getting that verification check mark, even though you are paying Twitter Blue at the old price, which I think is like $5.99, $6.99 or something like that. The new $8 tier is only available to those on the iOS web app. So they can't even get who they're rolling this shit out to correctly, which means there is in fact a group of people paying for Twitter Blue right now who still remain unverified. It's a shit show. It's a madhouse.
Yeah, that is the dumbest shit. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Like between that and like fire devs who were like, yeah, that infrastructure is not held up in a way that you think. It's actually held up on paper and strings. So, and he fired the devs. So,
hey man, you got that thing hired on silly putty, bro.
Yeah, well, look, we're here to enjoy the decline. We're not here to enjoy, Twitter being like an absolutely amazing platform. We're here for the fun. We're here for the jokes, and so it's really sad that like the whole point of the original verification system was that they would have an actual team or maybe probably bots that would like verify someone's existence as them being themselves, and then they would get this check to say this is the real person, so that all these other Twitter profiles that are trying to like parody someone or whatever would have to like use a fake like TM mark or like a some kind of like weird icon or something so that they could make tweets to make fun of these people. And now they can just buy the verification to seem to make the joke even better. Like what? There's a fake George Bush Twitter account that popped up that said, "Man, I really miss killing the Iraqis." And like at first glance, I was like, "Is that the real George?" No way. And it took a minute to notice that it wasn't really him, because these days, can you really tell? Can you really tell if it's him or not saying something like that? And that's all that matters to the person who's been doing the parody. Like, as long as people are just gonna like have the 2 seconds of being like, "Oh my God, George Bush, how dare you?" It doesn't matter. The joke is done. They pulled it off, and Twitter is allowing that. It's making that even easier for all these people who have way more time on their hands than I do. So of course they're going to fucking do it. They want to spend the $8 it takes to, you know, get the verification and then do whatever the fuck. And some people bought their verifications just so that they could be like, ha, see, it's me. I got it. This is a meme. And now they're just like, well, now I'm stuck with it. Are the memes even worth it? And most of the time, no. If you have to spend money for the meme, then no, please don't. This is not a Mr. Beast video where, like, you know, somewhere you're gonna make like millions of dollars off of your you know, $2,000 that you spent on this project. No. Like, you're not gonna make any money back from this. It's just gonna be this is a nice joke, and then you're gonna be sad in a corner, or maybe you're gonna like browse your favorite subreddit or something, and then you'll just be at home like, why doesn't everybody really love me? And that's it. And Twitter, bro, I want to know what the censorship department of Twitter is looking like right now, because well, one, you know, there's of course the famous tweet of Elon Musk saying like comedy is legal now, and the other one of, you know, him saying that he's doing it all for free speech, and that people who were banned for you know, saying some things that were out of line should be unbanned and things like that. What does it look like for the people who have to make sure that CP, gore, bestiality, things of that nature are not on the platform? Because I remember a little platform called Parler that was like, no, this is completely uncensored. This is the real platform. Don't worry, guys. You can say whatever you want here. And slurs were the highest trending terms on that platform. And also, people just went on there to post CP, gore, all the things you're not supposed to post on like Twitter, Tumblr, etc. And yeah, no one. It took a while before they were like, okay, now some things are censored on this platform. You know, like people are saying that they're going back to Tumblr, man. Tumblr, because Tumblr has like recently, allegedly, kind of like lifted some of their bans on some of the good old spicy content. You know, they're a little bit more lenient with things like that now. I think they also added like a feature or an option where you can, you know, 18 plus, you know, say that this is 18 plus or whatever, so that, you know, people can post the things and they don't have to worry about like kids getting there, which, okay. So people are thinking of going back to Tumblr. Lord help me, some people might go back to Facebook, who is firing 11,000 people. So they're going the same way as Twitter, apparently. And they've been there for quite some time already. So if you really think that Tumblr is going to somehow like get saved, if you're one of those people who are defending Elon Musk, like, no, bro, he has a vision, bro. He like, look what he did with Tesla.
Like the Philadelphia 76ers. And look what that's gotten them. No championship.
Exactly. Like what? Like,
you're not getting no championship. Please. Who you caping for? Who?
Look what he did with Tesla. Tesla's not even doing well right now. Well, I say not doing well for a company that's you know, making like millions, billions of dollars. Still, it's stock wise, Tesla is not doing as well. And you know, there's some cracks, there's some chinks in the armor, and all these things have one guy in common. So you know.
But my boy,
okay.
It could be worse. It could be worse.
Okay.
You could be on this platform making tweets like, really tempted to deactivate my Twitter. This is hands down the worst social media platform there is.
Yeah, y'all always been. Down.
The way people compete for attention here is insane. Too many of y'all are obsessed with numbers and clout chasing. I hate it here. It takes away your humanity. Click on their profile, click their check mark. This is a verified account because it's subscribed to Twitter Blue. It writes itself sometimes.
I mean, look, those people
genuinely writes itself.
Those people are just trying to, you know, express to their fans their discontent in the platform, which they're allowed to do. But like once
that's why you're paying for it.
Exactly. After the first like 4 or 5 tweets of that, we're all tired. It's like, we get it. Like it's a shit show. No, we know.
And it's like, yes, because some of you perpetually live online. You don't go outside. You don't experience the real world. If I told you to go outside to have a real friend, the only way that you're actually going to go outside and interact with new people is if they could get you more online clout. You could take a selfie with them and they look good, and that'll bring more viewership towards your page and your quote unquote brand. Y'all don't do human interaction as a whole very well these days. You don't.
Yeah.
There are people who the only way they can find them, they won't go to each other's house to hang out. Oh, no. They have to make a big event of it and do like a social media vloggers trip in order to have an interaction with that type of person. These people.
That happens because there are more terminally online people who are like actually like obsessed with things like that. Like they want to live vicariously through this person who is filming every part of their life, making it seem like they're living this like super glamorous life and whatnot.
Yes, because
like
not
it's
only
one of those reality shows.
Not only are people living vicariously through these content creators, there are people who are getting parasocial relationships, know that parasocial relationships between them and a lot of people in their audience might exist, and they use that to cultivate more content. Some content creators are advertising towards those people intentionally. Yeah. And then when it backfires, they're like, whoa, you're taking it too far. And look, I get it. Parasocial relationships, they're always bad. They shouldn't happen. And those people who entrap themselves in them, they are sick. And they do deserve jail time when they be stalking people. Like, absolutely. But here's what you don't do that a lot of content creators have started doing, because they realize those parasocial people, those who are captivated to that degree, those are some easy targets to manipulate into calls of actions, like subscribe, donate, support on Patreon or Fansly or whatever third-party apparatus you're using to cultivate some money and generate revenue. But it's really weird
when my favorite one. Hey, go visit your local politician and just harass them. Be like, "Yo, why is someone on my lawn?" And
but it's just weird so when like someone's in a parasocial relationship with you because you haven't acknowledged them, and then you so boldly give them the wink, the nudge, the acknowledgement that and the validation that they seek. And only when it backfires do you go, oh no, I didn't really mean you. Like that's weird. That's a weird area. But once again, as you've seen with a lot of these people who are like idols, or these people who are, singers, especially if they live out in Eastern culture, they've been doing that for longer than these content creators over here in the West. They will have whole relationships, whole families, whole lovers that they have in the shadow realm as far as their social media, completely scrubbed and eviscerated of those people, their children, significant others, whatever, because they know that their audience literally will divide itself into a quarter of its size if they find out their favorite idol master is dating somebody already. It's like over there, part of the fantasy is being able to self-insert yourself into some parasocial relationship in which you think that she is making the music or he is making the music specifically to you, professing their love to you, anonymous nobody on the internet. And now you see that with content creators and TikTokers, a lot of them are also doing the same thing because it might help their analytics. And that's weird to me. That's scary to me.
I really want to say, Perfect Blue came out in 1997. All right. Like, exposing this kind of like lifestyle, this kind of thought process, people who are like this, like all of that, was put in a movie that came out in 1997, exposing like the horrifying aspects of it. 1997. Still, like we're dealing with it today, and it's worse now because it's more common now than it was back then. And people people do it to varying degrees, of course, but like now, people are doing it in a way where they feel like it is so natural that they convince groups of people of like, this is a natural thing. Let's all do it together, and it's just not. It's just not healthy. And what can you say? Like what can you do to someone who's like become obsessed with these things? Because some people will take it and just use it as a way to socialize, use it as a way to live their life without being like super depressed and like unplugging themselves from the matrix. It's hard to figure out what is the exact thing you can say to someone to like deal with these situations, but something has to be done so that people people are not doing things like obsessing over every move that Elon Musk makes and thinking that he's going to liberate the world from whatever whatever scourge technology is going to bring about towards us. He is the scourge. I don't know if you know all those like conspiracy theories about us getting like computer chips put in our brains and shit like that. He's literally advocating for that. He's like, no, I want to make the chips. And so people being like, no, bro, Elon Musk is going to save us. He bought Twitter for $44 billion for a reason. It's like he bought it because he was bored and he loves the platform. He loves tweeting. Most of his tweets are not that great. It's usually like, "Hey kids, I also can do the memes."
It's like my personal favorite conspiracy theory is he got bodied in a Twitter interaction and got ratio, and he was salty about it. He said, "I'm buying Twitter. It'll never happen to me again."
That's funny because it could be true. It very well could be something that's going on with him, but we'll never know. He'll never tell us. And
right,
honestly, with the way that he behaved about people impersonating him, it sucks that's
look, I'm gonna just put this on the screen so the people at home can see what we were giggling about a couple of seconds ago. But yes, people are even doing it to like Tesla's brand accounts, in which they say, "Breaking! A second Tesla has just hit the World Trade Center." Like that's where we're at with it right now. This
like,
is what
it's very easy to buy a check mark, copy a picture, upload the picture as your profile picture, put Tesla real or Tesla R or something, or Tusla or something as your like at name, and then just go to freaking town. It'll take people a good 5 minutes to an hour before they realize that it's fake.
Yeah, like the Apple TV Plus one, talking about shows that they don't have and trying to get you to click on links to go follow YouTube creators that aren't there.
Mm-hmm. Because brand Twitter has been like so like we want to be with you guys on the funny as well, and so now it's just looking like something that Tesla might actually post themselves, especially because Elon Musk, like that looked like an Elon Musk tweet just on the Tesla account, like he accidentally tweeted it on the Tesla account, but instead here we are, bro. Like just because Arby's was like, "Hey, look, Animu," doesn't mean now all of a sudden we got to be like, "Hey, I'm Walmart. We can joke too." It's like it's all right, bro. You don't have to be funny. Not all of you have to be funny, and that's fine.
Some of y'all just got to accept your position as you're a brand that people like or support because you make some product that people like, need, or appreciate.
In this
Not
world,
because you're funny.
We have comedians, and then we have the audience, and maybe some things in between. But you got to be one or the other. You can't be both. And God, look, man, this is definitely a segue into the other topic that I want to get into. Common sense is, everyone is saying these days, common sense is a lot less common these days. And boy, howdy, some people get so wrapped up in these like internet circles that we have to remind them of like common ideals, common decency, common manners, common like things that are jokes and only to be seen as jokes, things that are just marketing tech, your local OnlyFans girl who says, "Hey, don't you love when I wear this outfit?" She's not actually talking to you. She's talking to like, multiple people.
Hey
She
man,
isn't your girlfriend.
these dudes don't go outside. They don't know that. Put them on game.
All right.
Let them know.
She isn't your girlfriend. And also now, like the woman that you work with who was nice to you does not like, she doesn't necessarily want to date you. Like I said, last week, about the woman who had a coworker that I guess she was like cordial with, who asked her out on a date, and she was like, "No, thank you." She's like, "No, I don't want to date you." And she said this through text, not even like to his face or anything. She said, "I don't want to date you, or I don't want to go out on a date with you," which she's allowed to do. Jesus Christ, rejection is okay. She's allowed to do that. And instead, this dude was like, "You don't want to date me?" And he got a gun and shot her, and she unfortunately died. These are things that happen. This is why, a lot of people talk about how like women are like very afraid to be like forthcoming with how they feel in certain like situations with certain people that they don't know very well, because you don't know who's going to be like an armed psycho that's just going to show up at your workplace or at your home or whatever, and then like shoot you because you didn't give up the punani, or like you didn't even like go out on a dinner date, which is, it's like, bro, if you're going to shoot her, if your thought process is, she don't want me, so now I'm gonna take her out of the world. You didn't want her. You are crazy.
Yeah, you are a lost cause. You're crazy, and you need to be under the jail.
Yeah, like what's going on? Like your association with what's right and wrong has been fucked up too much. And
I said hello and opened the door for her, and she didn't want to suck my fucking cock. Nah, Shadow Realm, you gotta die. What?
Now look, I know.
They ain't keep that same energy with the dude who stuffed him in that locker.
Have you seen the like recent Bo Burnham like clip that's going around of like them asking him about Twitter and things, social media in general? Because like he made 8th Grade, which is a movie about an 8th grade girl who is like highly affected by social media and how it's like ruining like her self-esteem and things like that, and what she would do to like fix that. And he talks about how, bullying, in like our day, maybe like a little bit older than that, was all about, being shoved in a locker, or some like kid being like, "I don't like your face," and then he like beats her up and takes her money or some shit like that. And how that is a lot better than what's going on now, because now you go on Instagram, you go on Reddit, you go on Twitter, whatever, and you have like thousands of people being like, "Damn, you look ugly as fuck," like when you post a picture of yourself that you thought was kind of nice, and you have to like just deal with that for like the rest of your fucking life when your brain is developing, like the kind of like bullying, the kind of like I guess the warfare that's going out there now is shit that's just not.
Look, we talked about it last week. A lot of these kids, like when we were young, social media wasn't really popping until like we were like 16, 17, or in some cases older. Now people like age 8 know what social media is. Age 9, 10, 11, 12. Sure, most of these social media websites have the precautionary tale of you must be 13 or older to enjoy our platform, but they sign it up mad early. They've been on here for years, to the point to where the vast majority of their childhood entertainment is coming from interactions with other people who are anonymously on the platform talking to them. Mm-hmm. And they could be talking to anybody. They could be talking to me. They could be talking to you. Sometimes you'll be getting in an argument with people that you think are just absolutely stupid and just are not fully developed up here. And come to find out, if you just clicked on their picture or their bio, or you just happen to read some of their tweets, you would find out in a lot of cases, just because you're 20, 25, 30 or older, and you see someone posting some head ass shit and you're yelling at them, and you're trying to put them on game, you're trying to coach them, you're trying to let them know what it really is. We kind of have this problem where a lot of us, we just assume the person we're yelling at is the same age as us.
Yeah.
Fam, they're not. Sometimes you are yelling at a 14-year-old who just don't know.
Yep.
And they can't know. And if they do know, it's not going to be because they had a Twitter interaction with Joe Gumbo 42. Sometimes you got to let the sleeping dog lie and be like, you know what? Either they'll figure it out on their own and throughout the day-to-day hustle and bustle of their real life, or they're just lost. But you can't. Some of y'all are putting this burden on yourself that y'all have to get into every single ounce of discourse you can, any percent, 100% on Twitter or any other social media platform, to the point to where y'all get actually like butthurt, like ass mad that someone's not getting your point. In some cases, they're intentionally being obtuse to not get your point.
Look, man.
And y'all getting your blood pressure up staring at an app. Y'all have got to do something healthier with your time.
Even I have had my moments where I'm just like looking through like a thread or whatever, and I see someone say like probably the dumbest take possible that's so like wrong and like kind of a little bit dangerous if people believe it, that I just want to be like, yo, what the fuck? No, man, that's not correct. Come on, man. And then
but that's fine. But you don't get
through typing the response, I'm like, this could be just like a 12-year-old who doesn't know anything. Let me stop. Let me go, like, get away from here. Let me go do something else.
I'm not saying that you can't interact. That's not what I'm saying. Some people I know, they'll get in the argument at 2 p.m. and they're making replies every 15 to 45 minutes for the rest of the week to this person. Like they be having actual verbal scraps. And I'm like, for what? What do you gain what if their next reply is, you know what, man, you're right. What do you get out of that? You're gonna get what's the goal there?
That reminds me of an interaction that I actually saw on Reddit recently. I think it was like two dudes arguing. I think it was like the new Rory Mall podcast, like subreddit, or like the Joe Budden podcast subreddit or something like that. And they were arguing about like the intentions of like these dudes behind this podcast, of like, oh, they're just doing it for the clout, or no, man, what are you talking about? And halfway through this thread, one dude just went like, you know what, man, have a nice day. And that was it. He's like, yo, this is my point. This is all I was trying to say. It seems like we may have like misunderstood or whatever, but you know what, man, have a nice day. And I thought that was just such a like nice way to end an interaction like that. You're arguing with some dude for like 4 to 5 like hours.
I couldn't do it. I'm giving you 35 minutes.
At the end of it, you just like realize it's just like, you know what? None of this really matters. What we're talking about right here, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. So you know what, man? I hope you have a nice day, because I'm not mad at you. We're both human. We exchange some blows here, but you know what? I hope you have a nice day and have a good life. And just note out. It was just like, nah, I hope you have a nice day. Just get out of here. And that sometimes you just got to do that. You just got to like see what's going on and just think to yourself, you know what? I hope this person fixes whatever's going on that's causing this behavior here. And I hope they have a nice day. I'm out of here. I'm gonna find my nice day because I don't need it.
Because this altercation that we're having right here doesn't do me any good. It doesn't make me feel better, win or lose. So I'm gonna just go outside and do whatever I want. Hell, maybe I'll stay inside the house, get on the game. Maybe I'll watch a game. Maybe I'll watch a movie. We literally have every piece of media damn near ever recorded, produced, or otherwise at our disposal at all times of the day, which is a crazy thing. Which is why I think a lot of games are coming out the way that they're coming out these days. Because let's face it, the minute you get bored, you want to play Super Nintendo game? They got emulators. PlayStation game? Emulators. Anything that has come out before 2009, you can emulate. Easy. No problem. You want to watch a movie? Trust me. You can watch it. There are ways. You can watch movies that are in theaters. Honestly, 6 hours from now, I could be watching Black Panther in my living room. And I am talking about the second one. I can watch it. Wakanda Forever, I could probably watch it in my living room in 6 hours. And definitely by tomorrow evening, I could. In my house. Shout outs to One Piece if you get what I'm putting down. But I'm just saying, there are avenues to get every piece of media you can possibly think of at a moment's notice. Especially if you're living in a spot that can provide you with great internet speeds. You can download whatever you were trying to get and change your mind slower than the download can complete. You're like, actually, maybe I don't want to play that. You got the game already. You got the movie already. You might as well play it. That's where we're at with it right now, which is why you see a lot of these free-to-play games are doing everything possible to make sure their game as a service pretty much takes over your life.
Yeah, sucks.
That's why you see they have these endless battle passes. They have so much content that no one person could ever feasibly, quote unquote, complete it.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, get ready to play as Messi in Modern Warfare 2 coming to the season pass. I wish I was lying. But,
yeah, man, they're adding soccer players to Call of Duty. Like, they're trying to get everything all at once, all together in one place, because they know if they lose your attention span for even a second, you'll just go to the next game. There are plenty of free-to-play games with endless battle passes, whole lot of content. There's so many things that you can do that aren't play that one specific game, which is why content creators that pigeonhole themselves into being a content creator for one specific game, look, I'm glad it works out for you, but I could never do it. Because in a lot of the cases, especially for these, games and service games, you're only one bad patch away from being miserable anytime you ever try to make content from that point moving forward. Overwatch people, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Destiny folks, y'all have had two separate eras where y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Imagine the next Call of Duty comes out and it's Ghosts. It's another Ghosts. You gonna have fun with that? Is that what you want? Because it could happen. You're stuck with that for a whole year.
Oh,
hey. How my Halo Infinite fam doing?
Hey man, they had they added the co-op thing, and there's new DLC and stuff. Come on, man.
So y'all eating good?
Game. Come on, man. Please.
Y'all eating? Okay. hey, Halo, hey, nose, y'all nose. Y'all eating. I'm glad to see that y'all are getting your caloric intake that y'all desperately needed over there. I'm so happy for you. But yeah, it's not to say that I got like any sort of quote unquote disrespect or hatred or malicious intent or bad blood feelings directed towards all these, free to play games or anything like that. My issue isn't with them. My issue isn't with these social media platforms. My issue is a lot of people get these screens in front of them and they never turn them off. They just don't. Some people aren't even raised by their parents. They're raised by the tablet. They have deeper connections with their favorite content creators than they do their own flesh and blood.
I mean, that's the thing about now, and when it comes to common sense, where you don't want to say it, but it is left up to parents to make sure that their kids do understand certain concepts as they're consuming all this content on their tablet, their phones, their whatever, all this shit that's around here, that they do understand, how to be respectful towards other people, how to, act when they're in certain environments, things like that, so that they don't cause stressful situations for themselves or become a stressful situation like that one incel guy who is going around. And
while
on
that
YouTube
is
right
true,
now,
you got to remember, people our age, hell, people younger than us, bro.
Yeah, I'm talking about younger.
Yeah, I'm talking the people who are younger than us, who are starting to have families at a young age. Bro, how you gonna learn anything when your dad and your mom are TikTokers?
Come on, man.
They are contributing.
Not all of them are bad.
No, I'm not saying that everybody on TikTok is bad or everyone who's a parent is. But
I get what you're saying.
People are making their children their content. Does that not worry anyone?
Oh, those are like dance moms type of people. Those are
I'm
always exist.
I'm not even talking about those specifically. I'm talking about the people like anytime their kid so much as this anything, it's got to be on camera. And if they couldn't get it on camera, they try to recreate the magic, then put it on camera. You know the types I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Anytime a
it's
kid
like
has a birthday party,
a little bit of
the
sickness.
viewership's got to go to they got to go to the birthday party too, because my child is the content. Our family, our cohesive unit is the content, and that stuff's scary to me because some of these kids, like when they're in their adolescent years, they are aware of the fact that they're not being raised in a way that's natural. They're being raised in a way that makes the parent look like a good parent to people they'll never know.
It's not up to the content creators to make content that, like, you know, talks about how there needs to be like limitations with things like that. But in some cases, some people do have to put something out that like addresses that, because some of these people are not really going to like have the wherewithal to even like know that they're doing it to their kids, or some of the kids are not going to know that that's even a thing they need to be like aware of. And
some of these kids aren't even aware that they're being abused in some of these situations.
Yeah.
Because remember, like when we were young, though, I think the worst we would probably see is a kid got like F's on a test, and like the dad now puts a gun to their Xbox 360, even which some of those were fake.
Those like weird shame videos where it's like, you know, the kid missed the bus, and so now the parent is like driving beside them, and it's like, that's right, you're walking to school, you're walking, look at him, he missed the bus. It's just like that. You know, that's funny for like 2 seconds, and then it's like, yo, you know, that kid is gonna be real fucked up after this, man. Like, you gotta turn off the camera, please.
Because like 5 years from now, people gonna find that footage. People gonna know that that's your son or that's your daughter. They're gonna see it. And trust me, kids don't need much to come up with ammunition to roast your ass, especially these days.
Mm-hmm.
They got group chats now, bro. Like, I'm telling you. they can rehearse these jokes. They can be flaming you in the group chat for 12 hours. So when you pull up to school the next day, they've already got the whole stand-up routine ready. It's already rehearsed. They're ready for you. You better have some comeback material, or it's just GG shake their hand, brother. That's tough.
Yeah. But like, one of the most important things that needs to be addressed is like the perception of reality versus what people see on the internet, because it's time, man. We got to talk about this incel dude, because it's really scary that this dude was so fucking bold to do all these things, and like nothing clicked in his brain to see that the several steps where he went wrong, and he should know, oh, maybe I should stop. Because if you don't know about this, you know, there's a video going around of like a guy who called the cops on a woman's dad, because the dad, you know, sent him like a message or something that was like, if you ever try to go near my daughter again, I will murder you. Because the guy started playing some of his music to this woman at was it Cracker Barrel? It was some restaurant that they worked at together, and she literally started running away. He's like, hey, I got this song for you. And she started running away. According to him, she started running away, and he started chasing her. If she starts running away and you have to chase her, you need to take 2 seconds to be like, is this even worth the chase? Like maybe I should go home. Because he started chasing her and was just like, no, if she finished the song, then she would understand how much I love her. And then, you know, we would have that really amazing romance. And he's telling, the video is him talking to the cops about this situation, and them being like,
do you know this girl? Yeah, I mean, we work together. Oh, like, he's like, are you guys like,
you guys are dating, or you're in a relationship?
He said, no, we worked together for about 3 to 6 months, you know. And they were like, you don't think it's weird that you're just coming to her house unannounced? Well, she was running, so I had no other choice.
Yeah, I had to follow her to her house. It's like, huh?
If she heard the song, she would understand that my feelings are genuine.
As someone who has heard what allegedly is the song, no, she wouldn't have. I don't even understand why you thought that playing that song in public was going to do anything for anyone. It's like that one video that's going around of that lady who's on like the subway, and she's just like, "Hey guys, my name is such and such. You know, this is my TikTok. I'm gonna play a song for you guys to promote my music. So here it goes, 1, 2, 3." And then she starts playing her music on the subway, which is the last place you should ever have an impromptu public concert.
What city is she in?
She was in New York.
Yeah.
This is the New York subway.
All right, bro. Hey, she'll learn. Godspeed. That's all I can really tell her. Godspeed.
As I was watching the video, I was afraid that like a homeless man or someone would be like, "Hey, yo, shut the fuck up," you know, like and like do something bad to this woman or whatever, because it's like that's the last place anybody wants to hear any of that shit. To be honest. But yeah, so that guy was playing the song. The girl ran away. She ran away, man. Like this is why the common sense thing comes into play here. Everyone should understand that if you decide that you want to have your say anything moment where you come out with the boombox and you start playing music, I'm here for you, whatever, and she starts running, she takes off. Nah, she's not that into you, man. No matter what happens, even if you do go on a date, it's not going to go well. And I have to say this right now. In the year of 2022, actually, as we go into the year of 2023, everyone must understand that if you have not been on at least one successful date with this other person, and you have the thought process of maybe I should show up to their job or their house or their social gathering area and start playing music, that'll get them to love me. Don't do it. Hold off. Go home. What do you think about that? Think about how it would feel if someone did that to you. Someone you don't really necessarily have an interest in or not paying attention to. You gotta understand,
these people would actually like if someone did that to them. That's how
they're not interested in. No, because you gotta remember, usually with these like incel types, the male, female, etc. Their thought process is, yeah, I want the person who likes me or who I like to do all these things. And then as soon as the concept of like someone who they don't like doing that to them, they're like, what? No, I would never want that. I'm not attracted to this person.
I don't even think they can fathom that.
Exactly.
If I'm being honest,
someone they don't like giving them attention.
I don't think they could even fathom that in order to process what it feels like from the other side to be in the other person's shoes. Because let's face it, if you want the whole truth, a lot of these people who are incels, they are that way because for whatever reason, they don't understand that you got to be compatible with somebody before you can actually even attempt to even look through the avenue of giving yourself to them.
Common sense.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that, but that's the same reason why people are like, man, I'm tired of all these bitches. They just make OnlyFans content. They don't love me. They're not loyal to nice guys. And it's like, bro, the only thing that you've ever done that has been quote unquote interesting in the past 8 years was you decided to do a 100% run of God of War 2018. That is the most adventure you've gotten yourself into in the past decade of your life. I mean, granted, the girl you like may be going to, quote unquote, a bunch of red flag waivers, but at least they waving flags. What have you done? Nothing. You are invisible. You don't even come up on the sonar map because you don't even do that. Y'all be trying to get these people who got Henny Clear in their system because their Thursday afternoons are turning up with the homies, drinking Everclear, Hennessy, and just turning up, throwing that thing back, pussy popping on a handstand, high-fiving and jiving all across whatever city they might be going to. That's them on a Thursday afternoon and a Friday night and a Saturday evening with the girls or with the dudes, with the fellas. That's what they want to do. That's who they are. They're big social divas. They're outgoing. They're extroverts. They're out here trying to entertain. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with just being the homie who stays at home, doesn't do anything, just game. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but you can't expect the person that you're incelling over to just completely change their lifestyle just to fit and adapt and mold to your non-go-outiveness when you're not even going to meet them halfway and go out once. Like, they want to go out and turn up. You not doing that. Y'all not compatible. It's not happening. And then you say, but I was nice to her. Yeah, all those dudes that were probably super abusive to her, they don't start off abusive. Trust me.
So
they doing everything you doing.
Okay, so there's this documentary called Shy Guys, right? It was about an old website that came out around the same time the whole inceldom, like the whole like incel community started becoming a thing. It was like a website of dudes who basically were like, "Well, I'm not an incel, but you know, I do have a hard time like finding girls, and you know, I'm really shy, that kind of thing."
Is this the Shy Boys thing? It's about a half hour, or is this a different one?
It's longer than a half hour.
Okay.
But what is it? The creator of the website, like I don't remember if the girl who made the documentary like was like friends with him, or if she like knew someone who knew him or something like that. But like she had some sort of connection to some of the people in the documentary, and that's why she was filming this, because she was like, it's very interesting that these dudes are this way, and I want to know like why is it so hard for them and shit. Because the guy who made the website seemed like a genuine like dude who was just like, I just don't have like very good luck with women or whatever. But the people he associated with were not like that. There was one guy who he may have been like neurodivergent. He may have been on the spectrum in some kind of way. But the way that he talked about these things was like very weird. Like he's like, oh, I know the reason why girls aren't interested in me. It's because I'm I'm not conventionally attractive. If I get myself a nose job and dilate my nose this way, and do this to my face and get rid of my acne and whatnot, I'd be a very attractive man. And then they would all be very interested in me. And then there's a point in there where he goes on a rant about how he would sometimes approach fat women because they're more inclined to be interested in a guy like him, but he finds them to be very unattractive, and so he's not really
I have seen that clip. Bro, what you're talking about.
That like mentality is the incel mentality that's like worrisome, because like he's aware of why he doesn't attract women, what kind of women to manipulate, who to like go after if he just wants someone like to have like a body or whatever,
because they're emotionally vulnerable, and
right. And like the way he talks about it is not from a like sincere standpoint, and
it comes off as very predatory. Like, that's right, take the bait, you know what you're doing. And he's like, I don't really care for them. They're just a pussy to fuck.
Yeah. And
but apparently he doesn't even get that far because he's still an incel.
Exactly. That's why, like, there's like a huge stigma for like incels and like dudes like that. But one of the things is the most interesting about that documentary is that like on the website, of course it's like, it's a forum. So like, these guys get there, they get together and they talk about these things. And maybe talk about like other shit that they like and whatnot, hang out, sometimes meet up, shit like that. There's a dude on that website who is the early PUA guy. All right. He's the early pickup artist dude. And he's like, yeah, these fucking nerds, I'm going to teach them how to get real bitches just like me. And it's like, he's the corniest dude you'll ever see, but he's the exact dude that they fall for, because he makes it seem like he's out here slaying the puss. He's out here, getting it every which way.
And he was just as incel as the rest of them, wasn't
he? Pretty much. Like, he's more successful with women, but like not by a huge margin. Every time that man opens his mouth, I don't understand how anyone would be like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. It's like, nah, he throws whatever that is out the window the moment he talks. And he kept trying to hit on the girl who was filming, and she's just kind of like, no, no. So it's one of those things where this has been happening for years, and people are more aware of it, but it's very hard to know what to do, because like most of these guys, instead of focusing on aspects of themselves that they need to improve on, whether it be physical or like, personality wise or whatever. They're just kind of like wallowing in despair. And some of them give too much into despair and then they just fucking like go nuclear. But others just kind of like stay on these forums and then find people who say untrue shit to justify their like secret hatred towards the people that they are attracted to, because after a certain amount of time, after a certain amount of rejections, they get it in their brain of like, well, these people, there's something wrong with them because they're rejecting me, because we don't teach society as a whole that rejection is not that bad. Okay, like you learn something from a rejection, and every time you get rejected in any aspect of life, but we keep telling people, no, you don't want that by any means necessary. You have to avoid that. And if it happens, then you might as well die. And it's like, you're not going to die.
Somebody unfollowed your Twitter account, commit it.
Exactly. That goes back to the thing with kids. Because
go
kids
ahead
have
and get your water toaster.
You have to like, reinforce, reaffirm to like people that like it's not the end of the world, even though it might feel like that for a couple of moments. Like you'll be okay, but you need to like remember that you'll be okay. And yeah, that part is harder, but like we need to like do something so that people are not going to have these wild expectations of like they have to say yes to me or else it's the end of the world. Because then you get this like weird incel dude who's like stalking this woman, following her to her home, and like legitimately doesn't understand why her father would be like, you stay away from my daughter because she doesn't want you. Like even the guys, even the cops, they were like, oh, well, like her running away was her like response to you. Like she gave you an answer. He's like, no, she didn't say anything. So like she didn't give me an answer. And then as they tried to like explain more as to why that, like her running away is an answer as to like, her not wanting to like date him or whatever, he starts going on some crazy rant about how there's a huge influx of women who have like fantasies about being forced. They have some CNC fantasies and whatnot. And it's like, you have gone to the worst parts of the internet. Delete your FetLife profile. Stay off Twitter for a while. Get off Reddit for a couple of months. Like,
I mean, he made it seem like next time when I catch her alone, I'm not going to give her the option. I'm going to force her down, strip her naked, and do my business right there in the middle of an alley. And don't worry, at the end of it, hey, girls these days are into that type of thing. And she'll thank me for it. And it's like, do you not hear the words that just came out of your mouth, sir? Like,
exactly. And on top of that, he's
you're a criminal.
He's like, she should make an OnlyFans. It's just like, that's why like 90% of these dudes that say that they hate OnlyFans don't hate it. They just hate that they're not a part of it. That's all.
They just hate that their unemployed ass has to find a way to get up some coin to get in.
Oh, I have to pay to see her boobs now? It's like, yeah.
I mean, it's like you weren't seeing them before.
It's like, yes, you do, because you are the one that's coveting all of that. Like the rest of us are just kind of like, okay, well, I could live without seeing that, and then just we go about our lives. That's how that as a service works. Like, and if it's a situation where you want her to like really form a bond with her, so that she'll feel comfortable showing you that thing, for free, showing you whatever for free, you form an actual bond, and you don't focus on the result. You don't focus on the quote unquote reward from all of that. Like,
sir, that requires these people to give effort. And if it ain't complaining on Reddit or another social media outlet, effort's not coming, boy. You know that.
Being horny has done too much to some people. All right, it's done too much to some people, and there's too much content out there that like allows them to get away with having all these like impure thoughts that are going to make them think that whatever scenario is in their OnlyFans video or their P-Hub video is just going to play out in real life. It's like the episode of Friends where Chandler and Joey got the porno channel for free, and they were just like sitting in there. They were like sitting there all day watching it, porn, and they had a conversation by the end of the episode where it was like, I think we need to turn like at first, I think like Joey was like, I went to the post office today and there was like a hot, woman behind the counter and she didn't want to have sex with me. Chandler was like, oh, I went to the bank and the bank teller didn't want to have sex with me. And then they just like stop for a second and realize what they're saying. And they're like, we need to turn off the porn. Simple as that. Like, that's really the solution. It's like, you need to get away from that. And you'll snap out of it after a certain point, but like, you got to stop injecting yourself with all that shit and then thinking that it's reality. If you can't separate it from reality, then you're not going to be responsible enough to consume that kind of content.
Facts.
There's a responsibility to consuming any kind of content that we just kind of like neglect to tell people about, and it sucks. Because most content creators probably don't want to like talk about the boring, responsibility type of shit or whatever. They want to be like, hey, consume the content because then I'll get, the rewards. I'll get more money and, whatever. But it has to be said to some people because unfortunately, we all just like like you and I, our generation, like just assumes like, well, everybody knows that because that's common knowledge. Now it's not. Most people, like, the newer generations grow up and they don't get in these scenarios, see these things that are basically like, you need to like understand that this is not real. And they just see it and they're like, yeah, that's totally real. Plus, some people try to like tailor the content to look like it's real scenarios going on. It's like, spoiler alert, they're not actually stepbrother and stepsister, sir.
What? It's fake. But I mean, hey, man, they do that. They do that shit all the time. And I don't know why they always fall into the trap where they do that all the time. But hey, I guess being self-aware is a tough thing.
It is, apparently.
What's that? A woman? Nah, it's time to objectify because they don't have rights. And it's like, that's not exactly what you said, but that's definitely the same thought process you've taken to get to where you ended up. Y'all followed the same roadmap.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they're not trying to fuck you, bro. It's not happening.
It's so weird. Like so many of these dudes who are just like, I don't understand why women don't like me. They don't really talk to women. Like, have you ever had a conversation with a woman that hasn't involved you wanting to like, throw your penis on her face? Like, have you? No? Well, then maybe that's why. Maybe you should try doing that first.
No, man, I just want to talk shit about them on the internet. It's like, see, there you go. Now you're being honest. You just want to be angry because they didn't pick you.
Yeah, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. Like, just talk to them. More often than not, they're going to be willing to have like a conversation, give you sound advice, and help you understand how to talk to someone that you're attracted to. Because we always set it up to make it seem like oh, talking to someone that you're attracted to is going to be this like crazy, scary thing. It's really a matter of just being as respectable as humanly possible. If they're not into you, okay, leave with grace. Be like, okay, I understand.
Nah, man. Something about that male pride. Too many males can't do that, bro.
I mean, that's you and I know that's a problem on our side that has to be like rectified too. But there's so many things that are like muddying the fucking waters. Like the dudes that say like, oh, toxic masculinity means like all masculinity is toxic. It's like, no, positive masculinity is a thing, and that's what needs to be taught more to like counteract ideals of like, oh, the male ego, I guess you could say, like ideas of like, oh, if this girl rejects me, then she's disrespecting me. No, she just doesn't like you.
Everybody think they ego is ultra ego. Everybody think it turn them into Vegeta.
Exactly. Like,
it's like maybe you forgot Vegeta can blow up planets with barely thinking about it and can fight. Y'all can't even do that.
As dudes, we got to tell other dudes that like, nah, man, it's okay to feel upset. It's okay to be rejected and whatnot. Oh shit! What is it? The Netflix show Love Is Blind. Yo, that is actually like a good example of how masculine spaces can be like very, very like good and positive. The most recent season just finished, and every season of the show has, you know, like the men are on one side, the women are on the other. They always have moments where the men are being like very like open with each other about these scenarios that they're in, open with their feelings and whatnot, and the men bond over that, you know, and that's very nice. And in the reunion of this season, there's an African man who he talked about how he really, really loved that he had that kind of space because it was the first time in his life that he was ever in like a male dominated space where men could be like open with each other. They could be vulnerable with each other. They could like, you know, like actually like talk to each other about important things and not feel like someone was going to like make fun of them or whatever, you know, like they could cry in front of each other or whatever. They could say, hey man, I'm really hurt, you know, whatever. And that's really all dudes need. Like it's just, you know, to be able to be like, damn man, that hurt. And, you know, someone else be like, you know what? I know it's okay, man. It'll be okay. And then that's it. He's not going to go on some rampage. None of that shit's going to happen because he's like, look, man, I understand and you'll be okay. That's all that needs to be done. But so many dudes want to take advantage of like shit like that and be like, no, as a man, you should never cry amongst anyone, especially in front of a woman, because then she'll think you're weak. And it's like, you want that woman? Like, who thinks they're going to be weak for crying? Like, bro, that's not okay. She needs to probably see someone too. Like you probably don't want her that bad. Bro. Like, it's okay. You just need someone to like look at you and say, you don't want her that bad, man. She's not that great. There's someone better. If she's mad at you for crying, there's someone better out there.
And it's okay to find that person.
I mean, shit, Don Johnson or Don John was the name of that movie about Joseph Gordon-Levitt being the dude who was like obsessed with porn, and then he met Scarlett Johansson, and she was like, like, you know, stereotypically like toxic, you know, woman.
Man,
who
that movie is about a decade old now. God damn.
Like, yeah. You know, toxic relationship. She like was perpetuating all these like really horrible stereotypes for men. Like he couldn't be sensitive around her. He couldn't like let his guard down around her. She got mad at him for watching porn. Like, you know, all the kinds of shit like that. And you know, he really was just kind of like, I mean, this is just how it is, I guess. This is my life now. And then he met Julianne Moore, who was just like a woman in his whatever the fuck class it was, and she was just kind of like, no, it's okay. It's okay to have feelings. It's okay to be, you know, like, you know, vulnerable with someone. And then he finally figured out how to have like a strong connection with somebody so that he didn't need porn to get off in the first place. He just needed like someone to, you know, just look at him and be like, you're going to be all right. All right. It's okay. You know, you can open up to me and then not judge him.
This here is a safe space.
Yeah, that was the whole point of the movie. If people didn't get that point, whoa, but that was the whole point of the movie. And some people it just went, like, even today, insane. All you got to do is just be nice to each other, man.
It reminds me of South Central. Boy, point of that movie went over a lot of people's heads too.
Yeah.
It's like, no, the point wasn't to glorify OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson didn't even want to be OG Bobby Johnson by the end of that film.
Yep.
But all right, I mean, I guess it is what it is. In that regard.
Be nice to each other. That's all.
Yeah, that's all we can hope for at this point. But I think that's about all the time we have for this week. We appreciate you rocking with us because we enjoy rocking with y'all. Is there anything that you want to leave the people on this week?
The internet is not real life, all right? Like, social media is fake, bro. People, you know, that Instagram picture that you saw, actually ask yourself this several times when you see that, you know, that hot Instagram model who's like, hey, you know, do you like what I'm showing you right now? Hey, maybe you should subscribe, or hey, maybe you should you know, say what's up, you know, to me or whatever, hop in my DMs or whatever. Ask yourself, who took that picture?
Hey,
you see
gamers.
both her hands?
Hey
You see
gamers,
both
Pokemon anime.
Oh my god, I hate those spam tweets that I'm getting now, where it's just like random picture of some like random model or like something that's clearly a bot, and it's like, hey, gamer, anime, Pokemon streamer, person, whatever. And it's like, would you like anime watch with me? I'm like, why
Would
is
you
this
play
popping
with
up
my
here?
Pokemon? I was like, all right, Titty Chew, calm down.
Yeah, it's like no matter how many times I say, stop showing me this. This tweet is not relevant. This tweet is not. It's not about animation and comics. It's not about any of the things it's supposed to be about, and I don't want to see it. It just pops up again from another account.
It'll never, ever go away. Also, don't ever look up like certain buzzwords on Twitter. You be trying to just type in, "Oh, new Pokemon League came out." Next thing you know, you get
I'm
somebody
sorry.
getting the skeet pack in the face. But
I
I feel
looked up
bad for kids,
Pokimane
bro.
on Twitter one time. That was the worst thing I could have done. I looked up
Well, I don't even want to know.
deep fakes.
Yeah, they're in that they do that now.
It's so weird, man. Yo, as a Pokimane, I like saw a clip of like a Pokimane stream recently, and it's just like, as a human being who's attracted to someone, why would you be like, hey, now make an OnlyFans? Like, if you think that Pokimane is hot or whatever, and you think she's attractive or like whatever personality she gives you on her stream, why would you then be like, hey, you should make an OnlyFans and collab with this other OnlyFans content creator? And it's like, but why?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why, buddy. Because they know, realistically speaking, their chances are less than zero, sub-zero, so to speak. And this is the closest they're going to get to the goal. So they just gonna take the L and take what they can get. It may not be a touchdown, but they'll kick the fucking field goal.
We're at a point in time where like whatever like style of person you're attracted to, you could probably find multiple of them, and there's at least one who has like an OnlyFans that has like a girlfriend experience or like whatever of like a, hey, you pay a certain amount of money, you get to like have conversations.
There's that parasocial element. It's got to be her. It has to be her. I can't settle for anything less.
They'll even dress up as her.
Oh my god. Yeah, like that one chick who was trying to be Armoranth.
Oh my god, get her out of here. Bin the girl. Like, what are we talking about right now? That was the stupidest thing she ever could have done for her career. How the hell are you going to dress up as an abuse victim and then make like a CNC post about the abusive situation in the exact fucking outfit that she wore when she was trying to like expose her abuser? Like, no.
Nah, man. While I agree, it's business as usual. She's still pushing on Twitter. No one came for her. They let it rot.
No, she deleted the tweet. You know, they tried to come for her, but like,
well, like she deleted the tweet and she just started acting like she ain't never did it, and they let her off the hook.
Nah, I mean, people didn't let her off the hook. It was just a matter of like her fan base doesn't care. They don't care.
As long as the titties is titty, and
you and I both know people who would just be like, "Oh, I don't care."
Facts.
That's
big facts.
Yeah, it sucks, but you know, there's a certain type of everybody out there.
You're not lying. But in that case, we will see you guys as the 81st episode comes to a close. Y'all take care, be safe, have a great set of games, and an even better day. And as always, I think you have something that you need to tell them.
The internet was a mistake.
There you go. Good night.